Summerween. It's a real thing. It's blowing up on Pinterest right now, and there are shirts on Etsy with 6,500 sales in this niche. Designing for it used to take hours, but now it takes seconds with Kittl. I'm going to validate a trend in Etsy. I'm going to use Claude to analyze the best sellers and build me a Kittl prompt, and then I'm going to design it live with my favorite Kittl AI styles, and you guys are going to be blown away. Then we're going to put our designs on 2 winning products in Printify, and stick around towards the end because then I'm going to show you how to turn your finished design into a TikTok style influencer video that looks super pro. And no, you don't need to record yourself or anything, so don't worry. All of this will happen right inside of Kittl. Check it out. All right, so I'm on Pinterest here and you can see what we're working with. We've got ghosts in sunglasses, skeletons at the beach, some spooky social club badges. This aesthetic has its own visual language and buyers know exactly what they're looking for. So let's find out what's actually selling. So I just typed in Summerween shirt here just to see what's up. And we got Everbee running, which is really cool because we can now filter by bestseller, free shipping, popular now, and hide the ads, which is such a nice thing to do because oftentimes you'll see like upwards of 20 listings here that are sponsored, meaning they're only showing up on top because there's actual people putting ad dollars behind them. So it kind of skews the organic results. We don't want to see the ads here. All you have to do is hide ads and you can click on bestseller if you want, but I'm just going to look at a couple of these. This is another one that looks like it's trying to rip off that one we saw from Pinterest. It's got the same kind of thing, but at least they laid it out a little different. 3 favorites, 2 months old. It's just not going to get the same amount of sales. Slasher Summer. This has an in-demand badge here. 2 people have bought this in the last 24 hours. And look at the price on this. This is what I mean when you guys need to stop pricing for a race to the bottom. We've seen this on Amazon and now everyone's complaining because they cut your royalties in half. If you were priced at, $13.99, you're not making any money now. And on the other hand, we've got 25% off sale. So these shirts are regularly $36.99 and are on sale for 25% off for $27.74. Beautiful color. It complements, it doesn't clash, and we can look at their sizing here. So they start at $27.74 with the sale on, and 2 people have bought this. Look at this mock-up. It just looks premium. It's a cool design. It's got some brights into it, but it's also not glaringly, neon where a customer might be disappointed expecting something that is super, super bright, but then it's slightly dulled here. So it's actually a good representation of what would actually be printed. They didn't copy any of the 80s slasher horror flicks. They've alluded to it. They've got a camp on a lake. They've got a knife, the Mike Myers. It's kind of like alluding to that Slasher Summer. They didn't do anything illegal. And look at this. It's a premium looking design on a perfectly chosen color mock-up, and they're charging definitely a premium price. So we're going to check out how much money they're actually making in Printify as well with this. And if I want to hover over this, I don't want it to disappear when I'm hovering over it. It's pretty new. No favorites yet. Probably going to have a couple of favorites soon. It's a fun design, but it's going to take clicks. So if you're advertising this, people are going to click on this just to see what the heck is going on in this design. Then they're going to decide if they like it or not. This is why I say suck in bold if you're going to suck, because that way people know not to click on it because they know whether they like it or not. So make it obvious enough that they can digest and register what this design is about before having to actually click on it. Slasher Summer of 86. So different shop, it's got 14 views, definitely feels really cool. We can zoom in on this guy here and you can see it's got the camp that looks the same, but it's a lot darker. Good color combinations. They tried to honestly just take everything from this other one here. And you can kind of start to see a pattern forming here. And if you can't quite see it yet, we're going to get Claude to help us out with this. What I'm noticing is like some of them say Summerween. The ones that are doing really well do not say Summerween. But all of them have this very organic kind of horror hand-rendered type font here, which is really, really cool. This speaks to that human element that I've been telling you that people actually are craving now. Summerween, I think this is kind of boring. I don't see it doing anything. It's not doing anything fun here. At 50% off, who's going to believe that? Who's going to believe that you're charging $52 for this t-shirt with this crappy watermark on top? Not going to happen, right? This is fun, but again, it goes to a crappy size guide video. I want to see the design, not that. This is fun. This is a good video. Spooky Ghoul Summer, Poolside Mombi. That's funny. But a lot of these kind of look similar, right? I can click on bestsellers. Now we're going to see a mix of different things here. This is the one in Pinterest we saw earlier. It is a month old. Oh, look at this. 20 views in the last 24 hours. It's selling at $17.37. Tank top and t-shirt. So if you want to go to t-shirt, you're paying 27 bucks. This is what I mean. These guys are charging premium prices, and this is a bestseller. I guarantee you that people are buying the shirt over the tank top. 12 monthly sales, 35 sales total, and at only a month old, 330 favorites. This thing is probably selling at least, 15 times in the last 24 hours. You got Hot Ghoul Summer. Looks like it's very organic, hand-drawn, rough edges. But yeah, 1 month in and this thing is moving. That's what validated demand looks like. This is success leaving clues. And you can see what keeps showing up here. It's not clean designs, not the AI generated flat graphics either, or the beige ones from ChatGPT. It's the ones that feel like somebody actually gave a crap. Organic shapes, hand-rendered energy here, distressed textures. Like I said, the human element is winning every single time, and I've been saying this for over a year now. This is our target. This is what Claude is going to break down for us, and then we're going to build it in Kittl. There's another fun one here. I'm just going to screenshot some of these and take them over to Kittl. All right, so this is where it gets fun, and this is something I genuinely don't see anybody else really doing in the POD space right now. I'm going to take the winning designs we just found in Etsy, and I'm going to ask Claude to analyze it for me. So I used some of our inspiration here. I'm just going to screenshot these guys. Super simple. Paste it into Claude. I'm just going to talk to it. I'm not going to say act as a graphic designer or act as anything, blah, blah, blah like that, right? We're just going to tell it what we want it to do. So click the little microphone. Analyze these designs like your life depends on it. Break down the design briefs. Give me the graphic styles, the typography approaches, the color palettes, the texture, distressing details, overall mood, all the things that make these designs amazing and bestsellers, and then write me 5 super detailed AI prompts that I can use to recreate this aesthetic with original elements in Kittl using ChatGPT. Make sure to do your research and use research-backed details and find new angles so that we're creating completely new and unique designs. And then we just hit stop and then enter. And we're going to let it do its thing. Let me do a deep visual analysis of the image. Now I have everything I need. Let me build the full breakdown and prompts. So what makes these designs print money? Look at this. The core tension. Every design here lives at the collision point. Summer fun versus horror dread. Customers aren't buying a shirt, they're buying an in-group signal that says, I'd rather be watching slasher films than go to the beach. Audience psychology. So Halloween-obsessed women, 25 to 40, who resent that spooky season is only 3 months away. We're getting into the ideal customer meat and potatoes here. This gives them permission to wear their identity year-round. It doesn't scream Halloween, it screams super spooky and summerween. It allows them to wear it all summer leading up to Halloween. Identity-driven purchases are stickier than trend-driven ones. No surprise there. Why these sell fast? Comfort colors, plus oversized fit, plus washed-out ink. Exactly all the things we called out. And this is what I mean. These are things that my eyes are trained to know and digest after 14 years of doing this. But I want you guys to know, with Claude and AI help now, you don't need to be trained in how to spot these patterns. The aesthetic is doing the heavy lifting, so the buyer just throws it and gets compliments. So graphic styles breakdown, Summerween top left, Summer top center, Creeping It Real, so it analyzes every single one. So if we were to look at the Summerween one here, collage patchwork, concert poster, multiple layered vignettes, witch, Frankenstein, pineapple, surfboard, cluttered on purpose, vintage festival poster energy, absolutely. Bottom left here, slasher summer retro, synthwave plus slasher film poster for sure. If we look at Hot Ghoul Summer here, Y2K meets Lisa Frank, neon line art, so completely different design styles, right? The one underneath, neon wireframe horror, darker, more cinematic, VHS era horror movie poster accuracy is the highest here. How friggin' detailed and cool is that? Hot Ghoul Summer and Creeping It Real, or Creeping It Coastal. There's a shirt for you, Creeping It Real, right? Minimal vintage utility, least complex, but arguably most wearable. This is exactly what I was talking about. I'm not going to read through all this, but it tells us about our display typefaces. You got horror, slab, Sarah, slasher, summer, typography techniques, outline strokes, multiple color fills with one word. It gave us color palettes here for each individual design. Super cool. Gave us our texture. So we have halftone overlays. We have ink bleed and edge burn. We have pixel noise and grain, VHS scan lines, cracked fill, and faded garment match. So the Comfort Colors pre-wash pigment dyed fabric does half the distressing work. The design and garment color are chosen to feel like a unit, not a white DTF patch slapped on a shirt. This is key. This is what I was saying about the color choices they're choosing. These are perfect shirts as comfort colors for these retro style designs. This is exactly what a designer would hand you before they started building. So here we have new angles, not copies. 1. Cursed Luau Tiki Horror Mashup. This is the prompt. Look at this. A vintage tiki bar horror poster design for a t-shirt graphic. No white background. I'll leave all these prompts down below for you guys so you guys can go have fun with them. These are amazing. The second one is the Reaper's Road Trip. Horror plus American road trip. Very cool. Retro 70s road trip decal illustration for a t-shirt graphic. Ooh, I like this. My other car is a coffin. That's awesome. Witch Please. Coastal grandmother horror. These are awesome. Elegant vintage editorial illustration for a t-shirt. Camp Nightmare. Fictional cursed summer camp brand. Official looking summer camp patch logo design for a t-shirt. No white background, blah, blah, blah. And we have a spooky dive bar. So hole in the wall bar from hell. Vintage local dive bar graphic tee design. That's the full breakdown. Let me add a few things not in the widget worth calling out directly. The pattern underneath all 6 designs that most sellers miss. Every one of them is a parody of an existing cultural format. Summerween is a festival poster. Hot Ghoul Summer is Lisa Frank sticker pack. Creepin' It Coastal is a resort apparel brand. Slasher Summer is literally a VHS rental cover. The designs work because they're instantly recognizable formats with the horror filter applied. You can pause here and read the rest of this. I'm going to leave the prompts, like I said, below. But just saying something like you're a professional design expert or act like a professional graphic design expert, recreate different versions of these designs, it doesn't work. You'll be chasing trends and never build best-selling listings. This is how professionals work. You find what's selling, you understand why it's selling, and then you make your own original version of it. We're not copying anyone. We're using data and AI to skip the guesswork. This is also AI, and we know that it doesn't always work out, but let's see what happens. All you gotta do is come and click these very convenient copy prompt button here. It says copied. I'm going to come over to Kittl, and we're just going to paste our prompt. And what I'm going to do is switch this to ChatGPT image 2 because it only takes 15 credits. And because it only takes 15 credits, I'm going to set it for 2 images. I'm probably just going to leave it as match here and see what it does. But I'm going to then click generate. And you'll see here that we've got 2 being generated. And I'm just going to go through and do the next 4 here. So again, copy prompt, come down here, paste, generate. Also of note, it tells me here a note on the dead end one, which is number 5. Neon is the most likely offender for bleeding edges because AI models default to a soft glow that bleeds into the background. If it still comes back with soft edges on the neon, add this to the prompt. Render all neon as flat, solid color fills with a thin, hard edged colored outline only. No soft glow, no bloom, no Gaussian blur effect. How awesome is that? You guys know exactly what the pain point is here. But if these work out, we have just created 10 unique designs that could easily fill a shop section. Oh yeah, these are gonna be so nice. No refunds, no survivors. No refunds, no survivors. These are pretty funny. Are we dead yet? This is so funny. Reaper's Road Trip. Hellbound, my other car is a coffin. See the underworld, RIP 666. Are we dead yet? Instead of are we there yet? I think I like this angle a little better. RIP 666. Looks like it says Hell State. And then we've got these Camp Nightmare, where every summer is your last. This looks like a badge, which is really cool. That could be cool on anything, really. It looks like it would have been embroidered. Look at this. It looks awesome. I like the red eyes on the owl. Nowhere USA. Witch Please. Unbothered, moisturized, and hexed. Look at this. So something for the more Wiccan and mature crowd. I like this a lot. This is the ideal customer in this image, and I see them walking around on the beach down here. That's awesome. Still dark, right? With these skulls on these seagulls and this cat with this kind of crazy necklace, but it definitely feels more mature, more put together, and very much a Witch Please type vibe, right? And oh my, look at these. How cool are these? Where the spirits are strong. The Dead End, open. Live music, cold beer, questionable decisions, complimentary haunting, beer in the sign. We got a black hat and a window. Where the spirits are strong. And we've got 2 different bats here. So these are really cool. Look at this. I like the carnival feel of this wave on the dead end here. Very cool. Open with the broken is super cool. Oh, both of them have it. And the tattered tin roof with the patina. How cool are these? Never seen anything like this. And we just did this in a minute. Of course, all we got to do now is just pick one and remove the background. So I'll just remove the background on this. And all of these speak to a summer vibe, right? Like the road trip in the desert. You've got, you're going camping in the summer. Luau is also summer. We've got palm trees, without screaming summerween, right? And arguably, these are designs that guys would wear. I would wear these myself too, not just catering to the women. All right, so as far as Printify goes, now we need to pick our garment. So if we were to choose manually, you can see all the pricing here. I personally sort by production speed. Monster Digital is solid here, and you can see it's got quality as a 9, production speed is a 9.9. Literally, they take less than a day to get an order out the door. But they also have 33 super huge colors here, which is amazing. Look at the prices here, right? So this is with Printify Premium, and these are prices you can't beat. You're getting serious discounts on these comfort colors, which are super, super popular. $11, and we're watching sellers sell this stuff for $27, $28 while on sale, as opposed to the $37 at full pop, right? And then they were still charging shipping, and they were charging $5.99 shipping to stay under Etsy's quote-unquote $6 rule, which doesn't really apply to POD anyway, so don't even worry about it. Also, that $6 shipping puts $1.25 into your pocket here. The only thing we have to account for in all this is the 6.5% Etsy fees and a 20-cent listing fee. All in all, you're looking around 10% of that sale price. So of that $28 now, you're pocketing a $25 order. You've got now $9 US profit on every t-shirt. You don't need to be making $3, $4, $5 a pop here, right? Easily $10, $11, $12 if they weren't on sale. And I will say that Printify is completely free to use, but with Printify Premium, you're getting some of the best prices on the planet. So make sure you use my link below for a free 30-day trial. And then we're also doing a tote because Summerween totes are massively underserved right now, and everybody's flooding the t-shirt side of things, and nobody's touching the tote market for this niche. Easy add to cart, easy bundle, and definitely something for the kids, leading up to Halloween to collect candy in. And they're processing again in under a day. So 3 to 6 business days. Like you order on a Monday, you can have this in your hands of your customer by the Friday. All that without touching any inventory, right? No brainer. But with the t-shirts now, you see these mock-ups here. They were kind of like some of the ones in the Etsy listings we looked at. They're kind of boring, right? They have that same generic gray background. They're not terrible, but they're just not awesome, right? So what do? Kittl solves another pain point here. So the first thing we're going to do is come right over here to Mockups because we need a t-shirt mockup that doesn't suck. So we can just type in Comfort Color 717. And because we're on the beach, let's go with maybe this one. Looks pretty cool. I'll close this. And then it says place your Kittl design here. So we're just going to remove this guy. We're going to put our design here. And now it instantly shows up on the shirt. I can move it over. And you can see that it's got kind of the warping with the shirt here, right? See how it goes nice underneath? Where over here it's flat. All we got to do is make it a little bit bigger to fit the shirt. And you can see, watch the bottom here. As I move it, it's going over the warping of the folds in the fabric. So super sweet, super easy to do. And now we've got our mock-up. And if we wanted to, we could come over here and say, make the shirt dark gray. And look, here we are. How cool does that look, right? And it still kept the thickness and texture that is Comfort Colors here. It looks amazing. Now, if that wasn't enough, we want to make some viral TikTok or Instagram type stuff like I promised you. You can just come over here to templates and we can just type UGC, which is user generated content. This is the type of stuff where you've seen on the TikToks and Instagrams of the world where people are actively unboxing. These are like the unboxing videos of like 5 years ago, right? You can maybe pick this one. And then it just populated these right beside our artboard here. I'll actually just grab these and drag them over a little closer. We can just grab our design now. And you guys already know how to do this. We'll just move this off Move this on, make this the color we want. So we can change the color here to maybe the darker gray. So we've got everything we want here, and we can just come over here, and as soon as you hover over here, it says regenerate. So I'm just going to click regenerate. It's going to regenerate. See how these are connected here? It's going to regenerate this image here with this color background. All right, look at this. So it took our design here, plopped it on this gray shirt, definitely still the comfort colors here, right? You can tell by the collar. Look how cool this looks. It's warped with the folds of the garment. And then we can come over here and the same thing, regenerate. So we're regenerating now. All of this right inside Kittl. This is a complete brand factory here. Imagine how much this would have cost if you were to go get a camera, record everything, get an editor to edit it. Otherwise, you're doing it all yourself, and how long would that have taken you? Think about what this means for your Etsy listing. Instead of a crappy Canva slideshow video of all 10 colors you offer that every other seller has, you got a cool video here. Etsy prioritizes listings with video, full stop. And then you take that same asset, that same video, straight to Instagram, straight to Meta ads, straight to TikTok. One design, one workflow, multiple channels. This is how you actually build a brand around a trend instead of just listing a product and crossing your fingers. All right, let's see what we got here. So we went from design to mock-up to video. Let's check this out.
Let's style this with me. Watch this glow up. Adjusting for the perfect fit. Vibe check, nailed it.
Unbelievable. That right there would stop me mid-scroll for sure. And that is the whole point. You can also come down here when you have this selected. You can adjust any of this stuff. The prompt is right there for you if there's anything in here you want to change. And one thing I promised you before we shut her down here is some of my favorite styles. So if we go back down here to our design here, I just want to show you what you can do with Kittl styles. I actually am going to make a whole video on testing out a bunch of styles here, but this is so much fun. So we can just pick this style, for example, and say something like horror tiki theme with cursed luau and no refunds, no survivors. Include a tiki and a skull and tiki torches. We can generate with 2 of these. By default, it's picking ChatGPT image 2 again. Move these up here, make them big. And I just wanted to show you these because they're a lot of fun. And I've actually used it myself over here along with a few others for a D'Souza Fest or a cousin reunion that happens every year. We got a lot of really cool ones here, but I'm going to do a whole video on that one. So make sure you like and subscribe. So check these out now. Cursed Luau, no refunds, no survivors. Look how cool these look. These are done. Like I'm not changing anything. Amazing. Cursed Luau. Look at the tiki. He looks spooky. It got the dark vibes. And look how easy this prompt was. It got the tiki, it got the skull, it got the torches, plural. Amazing. This is probably my newest, most favorite. Definitely got Summerween vibes all over this stuff. So if you want to try Kittl, I highly recommend it. Use my coupon code in the description for 25% off. It's a great amount of savings. Forever Bee, free trial link through my link in the description as well. I'll leave it in the top comment. You also get a stack of bonuses with it. And if this video gave you something, drop a comment and tell me which Summerween sub niche you're going to go after. Are you going to try some of these styles here? And like I said, hit subscribe so YouTube keeps putting this type of stuff in front of the right people. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.